Welcome everybody to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here, and this is a happy Joel Perez here. You're seeing your Extreme Rules. You're watching your Extreme Rules, your official Extreme Rules review and results. Here tonight, the show just went off the air, and I am absolutely ecstatic right now because this show was mostly rubbish, bro. It was mostly rubbish. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. But after seeing what was a great fatal 5-way match, and I'm just gonna go out and say it, Samoa Joe has won, ladies and gentlemen. Samoa Joe is going on to WWE Great Balls of Fire, which is a ridiculous goddamn name, to face the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar, and I cannot be any more ecstatic about that result. God damn, bro. And I think we're going to talk about the Universal Championship #1 contender fatal 5-way match first here, because it was by far the best match of the night. Exactly what I was expecting, but what I did not expect was Samoa Joe to win. I said it week after week after week. I would love if Samoa Joe won, and that's the guy I want to win. But is that the guy I know is going to win? And week after week I said, no, he's not going to win. There's no way that Monday Night Raw and the people booking a Monday Night Raw pay-per-view are going to let that be the result. But no, WWE is indeed going for the dream match. WWE is looking for that legitimate ass-kicking contest, and I cannot be any more ecstatic about that. Samoa Joe is a legit kick-ass machine, and you can't get more legit, you already know, than Brock Lesnar. So I am absolutely ear-to-ear smiling about this decision. I had a feeling, bro, because I'm behind the mic just yesterday. I read that story on Behind the Mic of Samoa Joe possibly winning this Extreme Rules match, and I know a lot of people didn't report that story because they're just like, this is a fluff piece before Extreme Rules. They're just, they're probably going to publish articles for each guy, Bray Wyatt, and he might have a possibility of winning. But those Vegas odds, bro, if you go on the site to see those Vegas odds, bro, and it happened before the Royal Rumble. That's the other notable time I remember it happening. It happened before the Royal Rumble as well. And it predicted Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was #1 on the Vegas odds to win this fatal 5-way right before Extreme Rules. And it's like they always predict it. I don't know what it is, bro. They always predict it right before the event is about to go off. That unpredictable name. And they predicted Samoa Joe here tonight. And before the Royal Rumble, they predicted Randy Orton. And each and every time they get it right now, I'm just like, oh my god. How the hell do these guys do it, bro? How the hell do they do it? And they were right again. So, I mean, Samoa Joe is your #1 contender for the Universal Championship. You have to put into consideration, do I think he's going to win the Universal Championship? Now, that is a question that I unfortunately am going to say no to. I think this #1 contenders match is where WWE is cutting it. I wish, again, and I'm saying the same thing, watch him go on and win the Universal Championship for all we know. Jesus Christ, but I wish that he went on to win the Universal Championship from Brock Lesnar. That's the guy I want to see it go into the hands to most. But do I think it's going to happen? No. I wish it happened. Do I think it's going to happen? Again, I'm saying no. Then again, I said the same thing for this match. Do I think Samoa Joe is going to win? I said I wish, but no. And look what we're sitting here talking about now. Samoa Joe is your #1 contender. So Samoa Joe, and especially considering the unpredictability that WWE loves to go to, and this is one of those times where that unpredictable aspect is one that I like, because nobody expected Samoa Joe to win this match. It's going to be a killer match at Great Balls of Fire. That pay-per-view is going to be an absolute joke. Name alone, bro. Name alone, but at least it's going to have a legitimate goddamn main event, and you got to think about the quality of promo we are going to have on Monday Night Raw over the next couple of weeks. Jesus Christ. Imagine the face-to-face confrontation between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. How tense would that confrontation be? Imagine the promo skill colliding, the promo skill of Samoa Joe, and the intensity Samoa Joe brings to that promo, the dialect of his word, bro. And then Paul Heyman. Do I even need to speak of Paul Heyman on that mic? Probably the best ever on that mic. And Samoa Joe is damn up there with those great people on the mic. Jesus Christ, imagine the promos we're going to get, imagine the confrontations we're going to get, and imagine the match we are going to get at Great Balls of Fire. If WWE wanted to boost ratings here tonight, they got their ratings booster. I feel like this is going to be a big ratings booster for WWE. Because who doesn't want to see an ass kicker like Samoa Joe go against an ass kicker like Brock Lesnar? Who doesn't want to see a beast go against a beast? Really, bro. Really, who doesn't? And I certainly do want to see this matchup. Both these guys are absolutely fantastic in the ring. And I'm telling you right now, Samoa Joe isn't going to be that type of guy that Brock Lesnar just does suplex after suplex after suplex on, bro. It's not going to be that way with Samoa Joe. You're going to see a 20-minute legitimate fight. And hopefully Samoa Joe can bring Brock Lesnar to his first legitimate wrestling match. That's just not suplex. The first legitimate wrestling match that Brock Lesnar has had in quite a while, because it's almost ever since SummerSlam, or probably WrestleMania of 2014, where Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker, or John Cena, I should say. When he beat John Cena at SummerSlam, it's just been suplex after suplex after suplex every single goddamn match. Hopefully, that is not what we see in this match with Brock Lesnar. Hopefully, Samoa Joe, and the fact that Samoa Joe is not the type of guy that Brock Lesnar is going to throw around. He is a legitimate guy who is just going to he's not taking that shit. He's not taking that shit. That's what I see Samoa Joe as. If they do that type of matchup with Samoa Joe, I'm going to be pissed off, and that's going to be something to rant about. But certainly, the fact that Samoa Joe won this Fatal 5-Way brought this pay-per-view up in the shock level, in the excitement level, and this Fatal 5-Way in general was just a fantastic match that had you at the edge of your seat. This pay-per-view made a lot of dumbass decisions too, bro. You had Bayley and Alexa Bliss in a terrible goddamn women's championship match. We're going to talk about that one later. We had the Hardys and Cesaro and Sheamus in a good steel cage match, but the logic was just completely retarded, bro. That match was completely retarded when it came to the logic. It was a good match, but it would have to be amazing to save the logic of the matchup. Just complete stupidity portrayed in that matchup. You had sleepers on this pay-per-view, Noam Dar and Alicia Fox versus, Sasha Banks, who I can't even remember her name anymore. Sasha Banks and Rich Swann, which I can't even remember. You had some great matches like Austin Aries versus Neville. That was great. That was really, really good. I enjoyed that. But the Fatal 5-Way and the Intercontinental Championship match was good as well. But it wasn't anything that you're just like, oh my god, this was fantastic. It was okay. I mean, really, it was a Miz versus Dean Ambrose match. We'll talk about that, bro. So, this pay-per-view, it was a Monday Night Raw pay-per-view. A lot of people worked their ass off in the ring. The Hardys and Cesaro and Sheamus worked their asses off in the ring. Austin Aries and Neville worked their asses off in the ring. Everybody in that Fatal 5-Way worked their asses off in the ring. Same thing with Dean Ambrose and The Miz. Everybody worked their asses off in the ring. I don't know what happened with the women, bro. I don't know what happened with the women. But everybody worked their asses off in that ring. And it came out being a good pay-per-view. This was a good pay-per-view. Was it amazing? No. Was it very good? No, it wasn't very good. If it was good, it was because of the in-ring quality alone. And that's what I end up saying every single time I review a Monday Night Raw pay-per-view. It's because of the in-ring quality alone. Usually, it's the storyline dragging it down. And that's exactly what happened here. And it's the logic behind these matches dragging it down. What happened in the match with Bayley and Alexa Bliss. It's what happened in the match with the Hardys and Cesaro and Sheamus. So a lot of things on this pay-per-view were fucked up and messy, and there were a lot of things that were great and just super exciting. And I might be giving this pay-per-view a higher rating. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, it'd probably be a 6.5 out of 10, and that's a very good rating. That is a very good rating, especially considering that it's a Monday Night Raw program, and the build going into this pay-per-view was absolutely god-awful. I might just be giving it a higher rating right now because I'm still pretty hype over the fact that Samoa Joe is number one contender for the Universal Championship. That was a great way to end off the show, but still, there were a lot of points in this pay-per-view where I was almost falling asleep. Thank God I had my cousins over, and when there was a sleeper match, I would go over there and watch the NBA Finals playoff that was going on here tonight, which probably dragged the ratings of this pay-per-view down to the depths of hell, probably. But there were the NBA playoffs going on here tonight, so probably a lot of people weren't watching this pay-per-view. And if you weren't watching this pay-per-view, just know that the Fatal 5-Way and the probably Austin Aries versus Neville was the only thing that you really needed to tune into on this pay-per-view. Besides that, a lot of what happened on this pay-per-view was a big sleeper. But besides that, we have a good pay-per-view out of what happened here tonight. But besides that, let me give you guys my plugs because I'm super cheap. Make sure to go check out everything else on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Obviously, Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews for this week are up. Make sure to go check those out. What I thought of Smackdown, pretty good Smackdown this week, and of course what happened on that complete sleeper of a go-home show for this Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And also on Thursday night, I uploaded preview and predictions for Extreme Rules. If you want to go check those out, what I had to say going into this pay-per-view about the builds. If you want to see an angry perspective going into this pay-per-view, go check out what I have to say about that goddamn build to this pay-per-view, and consider that when you're really thinking of how good this pay-per-view was. Because if you think about it, going into this pay-per-view, we were getting nothing but trash, bro. So make sure to consider that when you're actually rating this pay-per-view and the story that we got going into this pay-per-view. We also had Saturday Behind the Mic. We had a lot of news stories on there. We were talking about the Monday Night Raw ratings absolutely plummeting, and Monday Night Raw possibly going back to 2 hours when their contract with NBC Universal expires in 2019. So make sure to go check that out. And also make sure to go check out what I had to say on that Behind the Mic episode about Samoa Joe and him winning the Universal Championship. And go see my perspective before this match actually took place and how I was saying, oh, Samoa Joe, I would love to see him win. That's probably the guy I want to win, but I don't think it's going to happen. So make sure to go check that out and my discussion of that right there. For now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go straight into that Extreme Rules 2017 review and results. Let's go right into the show. WWE Extreme Rules 2017, we're going to start backwards here tonight. We're going to go straight into this Fatal 5-Way, but they were in Baltimore, Maryland here tonight. I haven't been to Baltimore, Maryland in so goddamn long, since I was a little kid probably. Jesus Christ. Baltimore, Maryland. Haven't been there in a while. Used to go there a lot with my family when I was younger, but haven't been there in quite a while. But they were in Baltimore, Maryland here tonight. Very good crowd in Baltimore. Very, very good crowd in Baltimore. And you'll see that in this pretty great Fatal 5-Way match. I'll give it to them. These guys all worked their asses off. We had Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Obviously, Roman Reigns, when they all came out, being built as this mega champion, being the one to come out last, like he's the goddamn champion. But the match started with everyone going after each other, and they made Reigns look like this smart ass. He just stood there as they all fought each other. We've seen Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt, and this actually made up the majority of that middle part of the match until that match picked up into that third, fourth gear, and we were just full speed ahead. But we've seen Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt take control here, dominating most of that middle part of the matchup, with Bray Wyatt DDTing Seth Rollins onto the steel steps. He introduced a chair into the matchup. This match, it fit the moniker of Extreme Rules. I'll give it that. It fit the moniker of Extreme Rules. A lot of the other matches did not. I mean, even the steel cage match didn't really take it to that extreme standpoint that we've seen. But this match really did fit the moniker of Extreme Rules. We saw the steel steps being used, the announce table, chairs, all that good stuff. But Bray Wyatt DDT'd Rollins onto the steel steps. Bray Wyatt introduced a chair into the equation. They dominated on Finn Balor for a lot as they hit both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns multiple times with those steel steps. And Balor, he started to fight back from the assault, which introduced Reigns back into the equation to hit a series of moves, and the offense of Roman Reigns is just completely rubbish, bro. Complete rubbish. I just can't believe the offense of Roman Reigns. It looks like he was trying to vary it up a little bit here tonight, and I don't know, bro. I did not buy it. I did not buy it. But we saw Reigns. He hit his series of moves until Wyatt finally caught him with a Uranagi on the announce table. The crowd, this had me cracking up. They were chanting, one more time, which had me laughing. And before, when Bray Wyatt was hitting everybody with the chair, he hit Roman Reigns. Everybody was chanting, one more time. Great crowd in Baltimore here tonight. Great shit there. There was a huge near fall where Rollins looked for a springboard knee, but went straight into his sister Abigail. Obviously, Bray Wyatt wasn't gonna win this matchup because, I mean, he's the eater of pins, not the eater of worlds, ladies and gentlemen. But he looked good in this matchup. I'll give it to WWE. They made Bray Wyatt look very good in this matchup. He was an integral part of the offense. But he hit Bray Wyatt with Bray Wyatt hit a sister Abigail, Jesus Christ, on Seth Rollins. That was broken up by Samoa Joe, which led to a fight between them. They were teaming together the entire match. That led to a fight between Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe, or not Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt and Samoa Joe, if I can speak. A lot of stuff going on in this matchup, so sorry if I botch any of the things I noted down here. But Joe reversed a Sister Abigail attempt. How many times, Jesus Christ? How many times in this matchup was a Sister Abigail attempt reversed? Jesus! It was like 5 times, like 6, 7 times that the Sister Abigail attempt was reversed. But Joe reversed a Sister Abigail attempt into the Coquina Clutch, which Finn Balor broke up, and he hit his series of maneuvers, drop kicks on the outside into the barricade, hit Reigns with a huge kick, bro. Huge kick. That kick he does on the apron, bro. Huge kick. That one wiped Roman Reigns clean. So he hit his series of maneuvers. His momentum ended when he propped Bray Wyatt on the announce table, and this went into that last gear of the matchup. Joe locked in the Coquina Clutch until Reigns came, speared them both through the barricade. Looked absolutely great. Speared them both through the barricade. That took them out for a while. Seth Rollins then went from the frog splash. He was in the middle of the ring. Bray Wyatt was already propped by Finn Balor before on the announce table. He hits the frog splash through the announce table onto Bray Wyatt. That left Reigns and Rollins standing after they showed all the replays, and that started another hilarious chant. Let's go Rollins, Roman sucks. It's usually let's go Rollins, let's go Reigns. No, let's go Rollins, Roman sucks. So that started right there. And they fought each other. They had their back and forth here. And of course, Roman Reigns, he did all his stuff in the end. Bray Wyatt tried for a Sister Abigail on Reigns, reversed. Before that, he tried for a Sister Abigail's on Rollins, reversed. After that, reversed by Reigns. He got hit with the spear. He's out of the matchup. Reigns hit Rollins with the Superman punch. He's out of the matchup. Balor came in, ate a huge Superman punch. Reigns charged for the spear. Sling blade by Balor. I think Balor hit the dropkick into the turnbuckles on Reigns. And from there, it was coup de grace, and that led us to the end of the matchup. Coup de grace, Balor tried to pin Reigns. It was 1-2. Joe came out of nowhere. Coquina clutch locked on Balor. And before you knew it, Balor passed out. I was parading around my living room, and it was Samoa Joe standing victorious in the Fatal 5-Way match. So like I said before, this was a great match. Best match of the night. And what else did you expect? You had your top stars on Monday Night Raw in this matchup. And I mean, it's looking pretty damn good. The main event scene on Monday Night Raw is looking pretty goddamn good. You think about it, when Braun Strowman comes back, you have 6 big names with Brock Lesnar dangling in and out, dabbing in and out of the main event scene. The main event scene on Monday Night Raw is looking good, and I think they're set. I think they are well set until WrestleMania 34, where then a Bobby Roode could come in and replenish their main event scene. But things are looking good going forward from Extreme Rules. What you do with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, there's a rumored feud that they would feud together. What you do with them going in to Extreme or Great Balls of Fire, which is still a terrible pay-per-view name, by the way. Did I say that before? Have I said that enough in my videos? Jesus Christ. But Great Balls of Fire, whatever they do with them, I'm fine with it, because I just know in the main event, facing Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, is Samoa Joe, and I cannot be more happy about that, because Samoa Joe absolutely deserves it. This guy worked his ass off for 2 years down in NXT, and he's paid his dues to come up to the main roster, and within 6 months of his debut, be challenging for that main title on Monday Night Raw, the Universal Championship. And I cannot wait to see his match against Brock Lesnar. Whether he wins that match or not, I have no goddamn idea, but I had an idea. I was thinking about this. You could have Samoa Joe win the Universal Championship from Brock Lesnar, and that leads to like a Battle of the Colossus type crap at SummerSlam. You can have Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, and Samoa Joe all in this huge Battle of the Colossus for the Universal Championship. That would be absolutely fantastic, if you ask me, and I think that's something people would be interested in going into SummerSlam. I don't know, that's just an idea I want to throw out there, but something I want to see, and I forgot to say this before, something I want to see the build of Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar centered around is the Muscle Buster. And I love the fact, bro, unless they completely banned it on the main roster, which if they did, that is something that pisses me off, because that's a fantastic move for Samoa Joe to have in his arsenal. But I want to see Samoa Joe pull out the Muscle Buster in his match with Brock Lesnar. That would be a fantastic debut to the Muscle Buster. Imagine that, bro. They're having this colossal battle, and then out of nowhere, they're fighting atop the top rope. out of nowhere, Brock Lesnar pushes Samoa Joe off. He doesn't know what to do atop the top rope because we haven't seen Brock Lesnar come off the top rope in a goddamn while. And then out of nowhere, Joe grabs Lesnar, muscle buster, 1, 2, 3, new Universal Champion. That would be absolutely fantastic, bro. That would be absolutely fantastic. I originally wanted to see Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar go into SummerSlam, where Samoa Joe would win the Universal Championship. But if it happens at Great Balls of Fire, I'm fine with that, bro. I'm fine with that, and then we can see that Battle of the Colossus, or a rematch, a colossal rematch at WWE SummerSlam. I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I'm excited to see what they do with Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. For now, let's move on from talking about this. There's a million things you could say about this. I'm so excited to see it. But for now, let's go into the first match, the match that started off Extreme Rules here tonight, and that was your Intercontinental Championship match between The Miz and Dean Ambrose. There was a lot of dumb shit in this match, really. There was a lot of dumb shit multiple times in this match. Ambrose almost got DQ'd here, picking up a chair and threatening to hit The Miz with it, almost not breaking the 5 count out of frustration. Just a bunch of dumbass shit that Ambrose would not do normally. He would not do this normally, especially considering the fact that the goddamn title is on the line. Why are you going to do this now? You don't do this normally. Why would you do it when the title is on the line if you get disqualified? So what the hell? What the hell is the meaning of that? That's not how I would have built this matchup, but they do that every time, where if you lose the title, you can lose the title by DQ. If you get disqualified, you can lose the title. Who came up with that one in the back? Jesus Christ. And they never clarified. They actually tried that spot, bro. They actually tried that spot where The Miz got slapped by Maurice, and that's how we all thought it was going to end. The Miz is just going to get slapped by Maurice, and that disqualifies Dean Ambrose, right? Because his opponent can't get hit by outside interference, and there was a spot in this matchup, exactly what we predicted. It didn't end the matchup. The referee actually had a brain in this matchup, but there was a spot where Miz was like, slap me, and she slapped the crap out of him, and the referee, John Cone, who played a big spot in this matchup, he was actually contemplating disqualifying Dean Ambrose, but that did not happen. He instead ejected Maurice, who after the slap came back distracting the referee for Miz to throw Ambrose into the referee, and as the referee was contemplating disqualifying Dean Ambrose, Miz came from behind and hit the skull-crushing finale to win his 7th Intercontinental Championship. So Miz wins the Intercontinental Championship here tonight. What you do from here, you cannot tell me, bro. I would be absolutely frustrated if you told me that once again we are going to go into another match between The Miz and Dean Ambrose. Jesus Christ, how long can you go? Why can't you just have this blow off on Monday Night Raw? I mean, goddamn, why can't you just have a feud blow off on Monday Night Raw? Actually have it blow off tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. Make a huge focus around it. And have some controversy happen, bro, where The Miz's new opponent, whether it be Finn Balor, that would be a nice little feud, Miz and Finn Balor, whether it be Finn Balor or this guy or the next guy, it could really be anybody. Why not have a feud between Seth Rollins and The Miz? That would be pretty decent. I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I'm just absolutely tired of Dean Ambrose and The Miz. Matter of fact, why not have Apollo Crews be in that Intercontinental Championship scene? I don't know, bro. I don't know, but thank God the title is off of Dean Ambrose. That's all I got to say about that. Thank God the title is off Dean Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose was absolutely awful as Intercontinental Champion. I can honestly tell you that this man did jack shit as Intercontinental Champion, and I'm glad it is off him. Miz brought personality to the person holding that Intercontinental Championship. He brought prestige to it. He made the title look good. Dean Ambrose did absolutely nothing of relevance with that Intercontinental Championship, and I am quite honestly glad to say that the championship is off of Dean Ambrose. We go to Sasha Banks and Rich Swann versus Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. Who cares? Who cares, bro? This match should have been on the goddamn pre-show. Instead, we got a damn good match on the pre-show, bro. We got a damn good match between Apollo Crews and Kalisto. That match should have been on the goddamn main show. Jesus Christ. That match should have been the one on the main show. You kidding me, bro? Instead, we got this piece of shit match. Waste of time. Nobody gave a crap about this match. Swan wins. Hit the 450 on Noam Dar. 1, 2, 3. Sasha Banks hit double knees from the top down to the bottom onto Noam Dar. You then saw the 450 and blah, blah, blah. Nobody gave a crap. This was your bathroom break match, bro. Nobody cared. We went to Elias Samson. Elias Samson sang a wonderful song. He has great guitar skills. I don't know why everybody boos his shit. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. While watching this, all I could think of was how much heat Samson was getting here. By SummerSlam, you know this guy is going to be doing very, very good things. Because Elias Samson, he's a heat magnet, bro. He is a heat magnet. He is a legit heel. He tries the crowd in his song, man. And it was great. It was great. Everybody was booing him. It was just absolutely great. This guy has a huge, very high ceiling, does this guy Elias Samson. Very good in the ring. Very crisp in the ring. His gimmick is unique. It gets heat, bro. And I could very well see him in the Intercontinental Championship picture by the end of 2017. Elias Samson is going to be doing very good things on Monday Night Raw. Great look. He had that Damien Sandow, that mix of Damien Sandow, Seth Rollins kind of, and Triple H. I don't know. That's what I see in what do you call him? Elias Samson, and I think Elias Samson could go on and do very good things. This was very good. All the heat he was getting was fantastic, and I see big things in Elias Samson. Very hard hitting, very good in the ring, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Elias Samson. But knowing he's on Monday Night Raw, he's probably going to go on to do jack shit. We go to probably what was the worst match of the night. I'm not even going to lie to you. This match was terrible. It was even worse than Noam Dar and Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks and Rich Swann. And, I mean, what do you expect, bro? What do you expect? The build to this match was awful. They knew that the Bayley This Is Your Life segment was so bad, they removed it from their goddamn YouTube channel. They removed it from their goddamn YouTube channel, if you didn't know that. And in the promo package that you saw for Alexa Bliss and Bayley, the This Is Your Life segment, and what happened in that segment, that's something you would expect to be in the promo packages. All the mocking that Alexa Bliss did, that's something you would expect to be in the promo packages. Nowhere to be seen. Only part of the Bayley This Is Your Life segment you saw is when Bayley came and the fight happened, where Alexa Bliss hit Bayley with the kendo stick. That's all you saw, bro. There was none of that mockery with the boyfriend and the old best friend kissing. None of that, bro. None of that. Because they knew the Bayley This Is Your Life segment was an embarrassment, bro. They knew it. And it was removed from their YouTube channel for that very reason. Jesus Christ. But the kendo stick came into play in this matchup very quickly, with both women fighting for it and Bayley grabbing it but taking too long to use it. Bayley with that pussy shit here tonight. And that allowed Alexa Bliss to tackle her and take that kendo stick and go into pursuit. Alexa Bliss got a bunch of shots with that kendo stick. And Bayley hit the Bayley to belly. No cover, bro. No cover. Apparently, that hit with the kendo stick was too fierce, bro. It was too fierce. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No cover. And a couple kendo sticks. And a DDT later, 1, 2, 3, and Alexa Bliss retains the Women's Championship in a god-awful match. This match went like 7 minutes, bro? This should have gone at least 10 more minutes. And you know what? Nobody cared about the match, bro. Nobody cared about the goddamn match. The build was terrible, and the match was the direct result of that build. I mean, really, who expected a kendo stick on a pole match? Such a gimmicky match to be good anyways. I didn't. I said it in my preview and predictions. Do you really expect this match to be very good? It's too gimmicky for my taste, and that's exactly what it was. It was just the women in pursuit of that kendo stick, and when one of them got it, it was all put over. And one of them got it in like the first 3 minutes of the match. Bayley got it. She took like 50 minutes to utilize it, and Alexa Bliss took advantage. Kendo stick, kendo stick, kendo stick, and DDT, it's over. Are you kidding me? That looked Bayley look absolutely awful, and the investment for Bayley is just not there, bro. The investment for Bayley is just not there. How much potential did Bayley have going into after SummerSlam when she made her debut on that Monday Night Raw? I was actually there at that Monday Night Raw, bro. How much potential did Bayley have going into her WWE career? And look at what she is now. Nobody gives a crap about her. Looks like an absolute pussy. A pussified version of the Bayley we saw down in NXT, feuding with Sasha Banks, putting on amazing matches with Asuka, bro. Now she's losing in 7 minutes, can't even fucking hit somebody with the goddamn kendo stick, letting them rip into her on Bayley, This Is Your Life, in an absolutely terrible segment. Just awful, bro. Head to toe awful is Bayley. No investment in her. No investment in her whatsoever. And where do you go from here, bro? It doesn't look like we're getting Bayley versus Sasha Banks at WWE SummerSlam. It looks like they're building towards Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Jesus Christ, after this match was over, they're like, oh, Nia Jax said on the Extreme Rules kickoff show or whatever it was, that whoever won this matchup, she wanted them. So, I mean, Alexa Bliss won. You're telling me Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss is the match we're getting? Imagine how awful that match is going to be. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss is completely scrappy in the ring. She has a completely heel moveset against another heel, against a slow-ass competitor like Nia Jax. Imagine the blend of those two styles. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's going to be terrible, bro. Oh, no, that's going to be terrible. And you know what's the thing? Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax are best friends in real life is the funny thing. That is the funny thing. So you're going to have these two best friends feud. Probably don't even want to feud against each other. And I mean, Jesus Christ. Jesus, absolutely terrible, bro. Alexa Bliss, I'm glad she retains. I'm glad she retains, really, because Alexa Bliss is very good. She's great on the mic. She did the best she could for the material she was given on that This Is Your Life segment, bro. And I mean, she's pretty decent in the ring, is Alexa Bliss, so I'm glad she retained. There's no momentum behind Bayley. Monday Night Raw completely fucked her up, so I mean, I guess Alexa Bliss is what we're going to have to see going into SummerSlam and going into Great Balls of Fire. It looks like we're going to be treated to the toxic of a Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss feud. Jesus Christ, I don't even know how that is going to work. But moving on here to the Hardys versus Cesaro and Sheamus. I'm not going to lie to you, this was a very, very good for that matter, steel cage match. I'm not going to lie to you. This was a great steel cage match, bro. This was a great steel cage match, but the logic behind the decisions that WWE made in this steel cage match were absolutely retarded. Guess how you had to win this match, bro? Both members of your team had to touch the floor, bro. Both members, not just one. Both members had to touch the floor in order to win this matchup. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? So you're telling me if one member escapes, you're pretty much leaving your teammate to fucking die in that ring at the assault of both members of the other team. Gee, that's absolutely idiotic, bro. I mean, if Matt Hardy escapes, let's say, Cesaro and Sheamus are gonna beat the living hell out of Jeff Hardy, and they could just walk right out the goddamn door, bro. They could just walk right out the goddamn door. That just makes it a handicap match. What's the point of that? So if you escape the cage, you're pretty much at a disadvantage. So what the hell is that? What the hell is that? It should have been if you climb the cage and you get out. If one person from either team climbs the cage and gets out, that team wins the goddamn matchup. That's how it should have been. Because if you're telling me that if one team member escapes, the match isn't over, you're leaving your team member to a handicap match. And the retarded thing is, Jeff Hardy escaped the cage, left Matt Hardy alone. He had to get back in because of the 2-on-1 circumstance. And when Jeff Hardy got back in, guess what the logic was, bro? Jeff Hardy now has to escape again. Because he came back into the steel cage. Where's the logic behind that, bro? You escape once, you're out of the matchup. You escape once, that's it. You are out. You don't need to escape anymore. So when Jeff Hardy got back in the cage, that's it. Matt Hardy, that's all the people who need to get out. If he gets Matt Hardy out, then that's it. They win the match. They retain their titles. No, bro. No, when Jeff Hardy gets back in the cage, what happens? Matt Hardy has to drag this guy out. Let's talk about it. There were some fun points in this matchup, bro. There was a fun point in this match where Matt would slam Cesaro's head into the cage, and the crowd would chant delete every time he did it. There was a spot in this match where Cesaro held Jeff Hardy from escaping the cage with one arm until he inevitably fell to the ground and escaped, which left Matt Hardy alone in the cage. There was a point in this match where Jeff Hardy tried to keep Sheamus from escaping through the door, and Sheamus hit a bro kick on Jeff Hardy through the goddamn door. Matt Hardy got to a point in this matchup where he was about to escape. They hit a white noise off the top rope, which forced Jeff Hardy to get back in, and that's where the logic got it. The logic gaps came. Jeff Hardy got back in. He hit a beautiful twist of fate, or what was it? Whisper in the wind. That's the one. Whisper in the ring. Went from the top of the goddamn cage onto both Cesaro and Sheamus, bro. Both of them, bro. So they're both down. Jeff Hardy obviously incapacitated himself in that attempt, and apparently Jeff Hardy needs to escape again. No. What it should have been, Matt Hardy could just walk out, and that's it, bro. The match is over. No. Instead, Matt Hardy, first of all, this was absolutely retarded, because there was a point in this match where Matt Hardy was up, both Sheamus and Cesaro were down, so I don't understand why Matt Hardy just didn't start trying to get out from there. Nope. He lets Cesaro and Sheamus climb the cage from the other side, while it's like a race, he's trying to drag Jeff Hardy out, who's incapacitated, at the same time as he's trying to get out himself, which makes no sense. It should have been Jeff Hardy does Whisper in the Wind, Matt Hardy walks out, they retain the goddamn titles. But no, instead, it was a slugfest where Matt Hardy had to drag Jeff Hardy all the way across the ring, where he would try to get him out of the door as Sheamus and Cesaro climbed the cage, and obviously Sheamus and Cesaro won that affair. They climbed the cage, they made it out, while Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy barely made it out as Matt Hardy dragged Jeff Hardy's corpse across the ring. Absolutely retarded result. There's no reason for there to be a circumstance where both members have to get out, because that absolutely makes no sense. That absolutely makes no goddamn sense. And if that was the stipulation here, if that was the way you won the matchup, why does it make sense that Jeff Hardy, for a large portion of this matchup, would leave Matt Hardy alone? That makes no sense. The logic gaps in this matchup were absolutely plentiful, and that's what dragged this match down. Besides that, it was a great matchup, and what they did inside that ring was very, very good, and they worked their asses off here tonight. But when it came to the logic, when it came to the booking of this matchup, absolutely retarded. Made no goddamn sense, if you ask me. Let's move on here. We go to Neville versus Austin Aries. This was a great matchup. Before the Fatal 5-Way, this was by far the best match of the night. Austin Aries and Neville absolutely worked their asses off in this matchup. Great cruiserweight matchup. And this, I really don't understand how Monday Night Raw goes so wrong with booking their goddamn cruiserweights. Because look, all you need to do is put two guys in a goddamn ring and let them fight, and they're going to put on a great match. And that's exactly what goddamn happened here tonight. Great stuff. This was actually a submission match for the Cruiserweight Championship, and they did some great stuff here tonight. Just great work between both Neville and Austin Aries. In the end here, Austin Aries did the sunset flip powerbomb into the last chancery, where Neville escaped to the outside. Aries locked it in again, and he had Neville tapping out, which I didn't like. I don't like the fact that Neville was tapping out, but he had Neville tapping out on the outside, but the referee said, you can't submit him on the outside. It has to be inside of the ring. We then see Aries. He hits the tope suicida, or at least tries to hit the tope suicida onto Neville. He goes straight into the barricade. That allows Neville to slide him back in, hit the red arrow beautifully onto the back of Austin Aries, and it was like the third time in the matchup. He locked in the rings of Saturn, and he forced Austin Aries to tap out. Very good cruiserweight match here tonight. I like the fact that Neville retains. I personally thought Austin Aries was going to go over because the third pay-per-view usually marks the end of the feud and the title change, but no, Austin Aries did not win, and I kind of like that because you feel like Austin Aries would have been kind of a boring champion, and Neville has been such a great champion for the Cruiserweight division. He really has been that shining spot in the Cruiserweight division, and you need to like the decision for Neville to win this matchup. But my question is, where do you go from here? Where the hell do you go from here? Because I really cannot tell you who the hell else faces Neville for that Cruiserweight Championship. I'm not going to buy Austin Aries again, bro. I'm not going to buy that. Austin Aries has had plenty of chances. He has failed at this point. Now, don't try to sell me on the fact that he had Neville tapping out. Don't try to sell me on the fact that he had Neville tapping out on Raw. Nobody gives a crap. It's Austin Aries. He's done. He's had his opportunity. Who the hell's going to face Neville next? I have no idea. Maybe they want to do, TJ Perkins versus Neville. That would be interesting. That's something we've never seen before. But then again, wouldn't TJ Perkins be the face in that situation? And TJ Perkins as a face, at least the way they book him on Monday Night Raw, is absolutely terrible. What he did in the Cruiserweight division, or in the Cruiserweight Classic as a face, was fantastic, and I like that. But then again, it's not the same people who are booking the Cruiserweight Classic on Monday Night Raw. So what you do from here with the Cruiserweights is completely beyond me. There's no way I'm going to accept an Austin Aries feud again. We've seen Rich Swann and Neville. We've seen Gallagher and Neville. You gotta wonder, who the hell else is there for Neville to face? You could build up Tozawa. You could build up Tozawa to do that, but I have no idea who will be next for Neville to face. I mean, it's really not clear to me right now, unless WWE wants to bring in somebody for SummerSlam to take out Neville and finally dethrone him. I mean, Kota Ibushi was a huge part of the Cruiserweight division back in, of the Cruiserweight Classic last year, so that could be possible. Maybe you could bring Kota Ibushi in for SummerSlam, or I don't know. There's multiple possibilities for what you can do with the Cruiserweight division. This was a very good match, and I mean, that's all you have to do, bro. Just let these guys go. Give them 15 minutes on Monday Night Raw. Straight 15 minutes, maybe one commercial in between, and they will show you what they got. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Extreme Rules review. Like I said, good pay-per-view. By no means was it a great pay-per-view. There were a lot of errors, like you could only expect on a Monday Night Raw pay-per-view. But, I mean, it was a good pay-per-view. And I said that on my preview and predictions. I said, this is probably going to be a good pay-per-view based off the match quality alone. Because when it comes to these pay-per-views, everybody likes to work their asses off. And that's exactly what they did here tonight. Everybody worked their asses off. And when it comes to the talent in that ring, you really need to congratulate and take into perspective that what they did here tonight was very good. Besides a few bad seeds, you saw Alexa Bliss and Bayley, what they did in the tag team steel cage matchup with the complete logic holes, and the Noam Dar and Alicia Fox versus Sasha Banks and Rich Swann. Besides that, there was nothing on this pay-per-view that was really bad. So what do I give it in the end? Like I said at the beginning of the pay-per-view, or the review, 6.5 out of 10 for Extreme Rules 2017. Good pay-per-view, but then again, there were a couple flaws. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I have to say about the pay-per-view. Make sure to go check out everything else on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews are up. Preview and predictions for this pay-per-view if you want to see what I thought of the pay-per-view before it actually happened. And, of course, Behind the Mic, where we're talking about the Raw ratings and the decline in ratings of Monday Night Raw, and then possibly going back to 2 hours in 2019. For now, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to like this video if you have enjoyed what you heard here. Make sure to comment what you thought of WWE Extreme Rules down in the comment section below, and of Samoa Joe being the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. And, of course, make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Puts a smile on my face, and it makes sure that you do not, as my cat meows here at me, scared the crap out of me, but it makes sure that you do not miss anything going on in the Ringside Wrestling universe here. So make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel and click that notification bell so you won't miss anything. Links for all the videos that I said are down in the description below. For now, this has been Joel Perez over Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and this has been your official Extreme Rules 2017 review and results. For now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video, and I will see you tomorrow for your Monday Night Raw review and results.